Hello, welcome to Spanish Lessons with Dr. Alan Davison. The videos in this series are designed to be used with the Blurtso El Burro graded Spanish reader. The reader is available at Amazon.com or through my website at blurtso.com. Have fun. Today we will look at the passive voice, that is the true passive voice. Sometimes a passive voice can be expressed with se plus a verb. For example, se habla español can be translated one speaks Spanish or Spanish is spoken, resembling the passive voice. But here, this is the passive voice that not only indicates was spoken, was written, etc., but also indicates the agent, that is, who did it. Was spoken by, was written by, was introduced by, etc. And the way we do it is we use some conjugated form of ser plus the past participle plus por and then the agent, whoever did it. The sentences I have here are in the active voice, and we're going to change them to the passive voice. Yo terminé el trabajo. I finished the work or the job. What happens with the passive voice is the object, the direct object, becomes the subject. So we have el trabajo. Now we have to say, instead of I finished the work, we want to say the work was finished by me. So el trabajo was, and this is where we get the verb ser, and since we have the preterite here in the original sentence, we're going to use the preterite in the passive voice. El trabajo fue terminado, that's the past participle, por mí. I have over here on the side the stress pronouns because we do have a couple irregular ones we've seen earlier, just to refresh your memory. Me and T are irregular, otherwise we use what would be the subject pronouns as stress pronouns. By me. These will uh, follow por, para, etc. Okay, el trabajo fue terminado por mí. The work was finished by me. Now notice you also, since this is a past participle, and this is the verb ser, this past participle is functioning as an adjective, so it must agree with what it's describing. It's describing trabajo, which is masculine singular. Therefore, the past participle is masculine singular. Let's do the next one. Ellos pintaron la casa. Okay, they painted the house. Now the house becomes the subject. La casa. The house was painted by them. Okay, so again, we have the preterite tense verb here again. So we're going to use the preterite again. Fue. And then we want the past participle of pintar. Past participle of a regular AR verb is ADO. Pinta. But let's be careful here. We've got casa is what we're just agreeing with. Pintada. Okay? Because this is functioning, pintado, pintada is functioning as an adjective describing the house. Okay? La casa fue pintada por, and then what was the subject? Becomes here the stress pronoun, ellos. So, la casa fue pintada por ellos. The house was painted by them. Juan escribió los libros. Juan wrote the books. So we want the books to become the subject. Los libros fueron, because there's more than one book. Again, preterite, we had the preterite here. You can have a passive voice with a present tense as well, or future tense. We can even try one of those. Los libros fueron. Escribir, that has an irregular past participle. It's not escribido, it is escrito. And we have libros, more than one, so therefore escritos por Juan. Okay, escritos because it's agreeing with libros. Nosotros hicimos las asignaciones. We did the assignments. Asignaciones becomes the subject. Las asignaciones. More than one. Again, a form of ser. We had the preterite here, so we're going to use the preterite here. Fueron. Now we want the past participle of hacer. That's another irregular past participle. That's hecho. So we want hech. And then we have asignaciones. That's feminine plural. Hechas por nosotros. Okay. Okay, I said the passive voice can also be used with other tenses. It's not always the preterite. For example, ella enseñará la clase. She will teach, this is the future tense, she will teach the class. Change this into the passive and we end up saying the class will be taught by her. So the clase becomes the subject. La clase. This is future, so now we need a future tense, a future form of the verb ser. La clase, third person singular, será. Then enseñar becomes the past participle, taught. Enseñado, except that clase is feminine singular, enseñada por ella. Okay, la clase será enseñada por ella. This could also be the same if it were simply the present tense. Él escribe, whatever, el artículo. This is less common. He writes the article. The article is written by him. El artículo es escrito por él. Of course, your composition professors will tell you to use the passive voice sparingly. Your writing will have more power if you use the active the active voice and avoid the passive. Okay, there you have it. The true passive voice with introducing an agent in Spanish.